Hi, I'm Chris Hanley, and this is the second video on how to play Warmachine. So, last time we talked about what you need to play the game. Your miniatures, the dice, the game space, the tape measure. Now, let's talk about the turn sequence of the game. So, like other war games out there, it is an I go, you go gameplay. So it means I will activate all the models in my army, then you will activate all the models in your army. It is not alternating activation where you activate a model, do its actions, then I activate a model. It's not that. However, there are some nuances within this compared to other games that use I go and you go. We'll get into that though, but first let's talk about the main turn structure each player has. The turn is broken down into three phases. We have the maintenance phase. That's where we clean up things that have been ongoing from the previous turns. That might be cloud effects still in play, corrosion effects still in play, fire effects still in play, or other things like that. Then we also have, after that phase, the control phase. The control phase is where we manage the main resource within our game, which is either focus or fury, depending on whether we're using warcasters or warlocks. We get to allocate or siphon those points away from our respective units, and we get to upkeep spells from the previous turn, so we can keep spells going from turn to turn. And we also make sure that our respective cohort models are what we call in control range of our leaders, because if they're not in control range, it means we are limited on what things we can do with them, whether that is allocating focus or siphoning fury. Then, after the control phase is resolved, we then have the main activation phase for your turn. And this means in your activation phase, you will select a model or unit, activate it, and that means it will move and perform some combat actions or magic attacks or something else. And then once you've resolved that unit's activation, you move on to the next one. So it isn't that I move everything, then they all shoot, then they all do combat. Instead, it's I activate a unit, do all of its actions, move on to the next one. And that's really interesting with the gameplay, because then from turn to turn, the order in which you activate your units can be very different and can change as you respond to how well you are performing your attacks upon your enemy and how well you are able to obtain objectives or open up charge lanes so you can perform a killer assassination on your opponent's leader. Next time, we're going to talk a bit more about how your army is constructed.